Well, guys, the Art of Whiskey back, and we are going to break down reading your label. Now, I do think that whiskey has the lightest label on earth. You look for it says, ain't no calorie count on no whiskey. Is
right.
I'm like, man, how many calories are in this? Don't say. How much carbs are in this? It definitely don't say. How much fat are you like? They don't got it. Hey, is there any vitamins in this? Nope. It just be a list here. This is the name. Drink up. You be like, well, shit. So we don't even know if it's healthy or not. Well, it's not healthy, but you feel a lot healthier. So we're just go ahead and walk them through the labels and how to read them and what to look for even in the label and the bullshit on the label even.
Sure. Yeah. So generally, the outside of just the rules, the general guideline is the more transparency, the better. The more information that they're willing to tell you, or that they want to go out of their way to put on the bottle, to brag or talk about the way they don't cut corners when they make their whiskey. That's better. So I brought several bottles with a few different terms. This is an independent bottling of Caol Ila, and Signatory's done it. And the reason I picked this one is because at the bottom it says that it is non-chill filtered. But a lot of these are non-chill filtered. The reason I brought this particular one is because it tells you why it's not chill filtered and what happens to whiskey that isn't chill filtered and why it's still a good thing. And so basically the chill filtration processes, they cool whiskey down before they filter it out. And what that does is it removes a lot of or what people believe it does is it removes a lot of the fatty esters and things that add the flavor to the whiskey. So what it helps the whiskey do is when you add ice or water to it, it doesn't go cloudy. So some markets believe that cloudy whiskey or whiskey that does that is of a lower quality. It's actually just the opposite. You want your whiskey to go cloudy when you add water to it. It means it's minimally filtered. It means it's going to maximize your flavor, and it's going to be the best experience. You can add, add as much water as you want if it's too much flavor for you.
Keep that. Go ahead and make sure they understand that. So proofing something down means you add water, right?
Yes.
So adding an ice cube, adding water, right?
Yes.
And even when you add the cube or a drop, you see flavors enhanced. So even if it's a whiskey that maybe is a little bit higher proof than you like, you at home can still add water and make it taste either better or comparable to what you might enjoy.
So my logic there is, you can always add water, and sometimes you don't like it if you add water. If you want to drink it at like how it would have been right out of the barrel, you can do so. But this bottle is full, straight how it was out of the barrel at 56.7%. So if I want to add water, I'll add my own water. I don't need y'all to do it for me. I can figure out where I like it at, and I want my maximum money with less diluted of a spirit, a fuller bottle. So that's kind of how I think about that.
Okay, go ahead. Look down the next one, man. Good stuff here.
The next one is a blend. This is actually a great blend, and the reason I brought it is just because they tell you everything that's in the blend. And I won't even read them all, but they tell you the percentages and the vintage of each part that they put in the blend, so you don't just know how old the parts were, but how much went into it. And that's something to look for in a blend, because a lot of times the blending process will be a way that people can cut corners or sneak some very young whiskey into something without you knowing about it. A lot of times people aren't blending to maximize the best thing that they can make. They're blending to very, very big batches to keep with a standard profile so that there's no deviation from the thing that they have on the shelf. So if you're looking for something with character and something that's blended for a purpose, generally them telling you everything that goes into that blend is going to be your best bet at finding something like that.
And is this a bottle that you can buy anywhere?
You can generally buy this anywhere at any bigger box store. You're not your mom and pop stores aren't gonna have this as much, but this is 5, so this one's several years old now. I think they might be on to 10 or 9 or something like that. This one was a really good one. Yeah.
Oh, we definitely gonna do a little tasting now. We're gonna put a little swig or two in the thing and see how it coming out now.
And the next one I brought is a Russell's 13, because this is age stated as well, and technically they tell you everything in the blend, so you have age statements there as well. But this one has a big 13 on the front, and they're telling you that nothing in this bottle is younger than 13 years old.
Period. This is a blend?
This is a blend. And so there could be stuff there actually is, not there could be. We know now it's come out that there's older stuff than 13 years in here. So whenever you see an age statement on the bottle, that just means that the youngest in the blend is 13 years old. Or if it's single barrel, that's how old the barrel is. We also picked this one because, non-chill filtered, which is what we like. But I did the Scotch bottle because they tell you why. and then barrel proof, so that it is right out of the barrel, no water added to it.
And again, barrel proof and cast strength, those are the same thing, right?
Barrel proof and cast strength are the same thing. Full proof is different.
Gotcha. An age statement, and that's kind of the equivalent to like a vintage on a wine bottle?
So like the vintage is generally, yes, I mean, but with the vintage you have to do math, and with the age statement they do the math for you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So when you say, look, you guys, they speak another language. Jamarcus knows a little bit more about wine. Well, I don't know nothing about wine. I ain't gonna pretend to. But you said you have to do the math when you're doing the age statement on wine.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So like if they're telling us that this is a few years old now, but if that were this year, then the age statement would be 13 years old. The vintage would be 2024 minus 13. You know what I mean? So it's the year that it was actually
So
made.
instead, they say we made this in 2008, and now you buy it.
Yeah.
But
So technically, that'd be like 2011 would be the vintage.
Yeah, exactly.
If that got you, since it's 13
Interesting. That
years.
sounds interesting. Go ahead. What you got? What's the next one, man?
So let me make sure that was everything we wanted off this one. I think so. Yeah, and then the next one is a bottled and bond. And this is a Rossville Union rye. It was also a specs pick, so it was a single barrel. So they don't tell you the single barrel in the front. But it says bottled and bond. And actually, it does say on the side. There's the specs pick. And bottled and bond is a term that they came out with, or it's not a term, it's a process that they did to kind of, for quality assurance, to guarantee that the bourbon that has that term on it is very well made. No cutting corners in the manufacturing process. Don't quote me on all of this, but I believe for it to be bottled and bond, it needs to be at least 4 years old. It needs to be from a single distiller, from a single distillation season. It needs to be from a government bonded warehouse, and it needs to be bottled at 100 proof.
Damn, that sounded like he was quoting something.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's everything, but I think so. And basically, I mean, what bottled and bond means is the hard way. You know, we did it the hard way because it was the right way, kind of thing.
There you have it. And that was during the time when people were getting sick drinking whiskey because everybody was hooching a little bit too.
Yeah, and people were cutting corners, adding water to it. You know, back then they were, putting whiskey in the fire to see how hot it would get. Flames jump up, you've got more ABV in your whiskey. They haven't watered it down yet. That's actually why they call it fire water. Yeah, because the
Interesting.
that's how you test the whiskey. Throw it in the fire. If the fire goes up, this is good whiskey.
Do you know where shots came from?
Like a currency, right? Like you could exchange a bullet for whiskey. Yeah.
I was reading that the other day.
I love that. You can't do it anymore. Whiskey's gone up.
They were like, hey, let me get a shot.
Start bringing bullets in.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Get a shot for a shot, brother. Now, that's how you read a label. Shout out to Richard the Whiskey Wizard, man. He's put that thing together. It makes some sense. Now, in the next episode, we're going to try whiskey, try some of this, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how to choose the right whiskey for you. I think that's important. Whiskey's going to be popular. It already is, but it's getting more popular, I think, by the year and definitely by the day where we work. And you go, wow, how can this get better? I guess we'll find out, people. Keep it whiskey.